All right. Last problem. All right. On chapter one. I got quite a while to go. Um, String rotation. Assume you have a method isSubstring, which checks if one word is a substring of another. Given two strings, S1 and S2, write the code to check if S2 is a rotation of S1 using only one call to isSubstring. E.g., water bottle is a rotation of water of bottle watt. So basically, you're asking, is this a substring? Is one thing a substring of another string? And hmm. And the constraint that makes it weird is you're saying you can only make one call to isSubstring. If S1 and S2, write code to check if S2 is a rotation of S1. That's stupid. Why would you do that? Given two strings, S1 and S2, write code to check if S2 is a rotation of S1 using only one call to isSubstring. So I guess one way you could, if I can only call isSubstring once, is the important thing that I do everything through isSubstring, or is the important thing that I don't just use isSubstring with a for loop? I don't quite get the purpose of this question. I mean, I know that sounds like the same thing, but is the important thing the fact that we're getting all the behavior through isSubstring? I mean, the only way I can think to do that, if you can only call isSubstring once, and you have to do the thing you're doing by basically isSubstring is the final function you'll call in your method, right? So you have to basically, if it is, I'm not clear if the goal of this question is to build a string that will pass no matter what, or if the goal of this function, or sorry, to build a string that you can pass to isSubstring so that you can definitely know that one thing is a substring of another string, because that's just, and you just build a string that rotates through all the permutations, basically, right? Or whether the goal is to, it seems like that wouldn't be the question because that's just like not terribly hard, right? You just take the character off the front and put it on the back and just keep building all the different strings, then put them, concatenate them together all into a one giant string, and just ask is substring water bottle, basically, right? But is that the question? What is the purpose of this question? Um, I kind of think maybe this question, I kind of think maybe this question is about like using a try or something. No, no. Is it about using some sort of graph data structure to no? When it says use the is substring, I mean, I'm pretty sure we can build a thing that will just build a giant string of all the different of all the different rotations of that string, and it's the string is going to be the memory requirements are going to be, I guess, n squared, right? I mean, whatever string you pass in, it's going to have to build a substring of every a rotation of all n characters, right? So I guess the total memory requirements are n squared. The I mean, I guess implicitly, since you have to scan over the entire string at least, the processing requirements are also n squared. For that, I think I see what this is about. This is not about building the string. This is about, I'm not really sure what this is about, honestly. But one thing I can do is I can tell you that so I don't quite get the question. Why are they asking for this? But this might, you know what? I've never done it before, so just to end off the chapter, we'll look at the hints after I solve it, right? But copy this, go into here. Chapter 1, problem 9 is, string rotation. Okay, CLJ. I just realized I kind of feel like it's more useful. I should actually be putting the titles into these. I mean, they don't really have titles, so I guess maybe not. Anyway, I'll think about it. Maybe I'll do that from here on. But the probably going to be a simpler one, I think, than the previous one. String rotation, right? It's going to take a string and just empty it out. And so none of these are going to be valid. But one thing that we can test is that water bottle is the input, and that ER, I guess it is technically the other way. I guess no, it's true that ERBOTTLEWAT, I guess. Yeah, is a substring. It is a rotation of water bottle. Oops, we were going to just leave that. Okay, and so we need to change this to string rotation. And it just takes a string. Actually, it takes two strings, S1 and S2. Doesn't really matter. I guess it doesn't matter whether the order of S1 and S2. I mean, one's always just a rotation of the other, so it doesn't. You can pick either way. And I guess a starting sanity check would just be that the strings are equal in size, but I don't think that really matters, honestly. So let's just deal with. So I'm pretty sure we can just cycle S1, right? Let me just check what that is. Cycle. Okay, yeah, so I think we just cycle S1, right? Now we have an infinite sequence of S1, right? And we can just say, I think, yeah, we literally just say drop while S2 first not equal to U, So basically, we're just gonna keep dropping all the elements off S1. That could go on forever theoretically. Well, we'll worry about that in a later. So this is just going to drop all the characters that don't match you, right? So that drops all the, just depending on when you started the rotation. You know, I don't like having to deal with the infinite sequence, so let's actually just make this simpler and just say reductions and on S1, and we're just going to take the rest, right? So I think that should return. You know, let's see what that actually returns. I can't remember if it returns the first one unprocessed or what. Please tell me I saved this. Yes, good. E9. And okay, we're off to a good start. Wrong number of args passed to closure core rest. Two. I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay, so you need a base case. I don't think I want reductions here. I think I actually want. How would I do this with reductions? Just to think it through. Not that I'm not gonna use this. I'm gonna use, I think, something else. Yeah. So it looks like you can take 3 arguments. So if you can do that, it's kind of weird how that works. Oh, there's reduced that. Oh, I looked at the wrong one. That's why. It's like these are strange examples. Reductions. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Reductions plus 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 6. Okay. But it does need kind of a base case. Okay. So that's the first one. So the first one should be. Okay. Okay. So it could be like. Does reductions also take a 4 argument variant? I think it does. Okay. So just to make this explicit, I'm just going to say conj of. So if I'm doing that, then I might as well just do conj. Let's just see what we see. Okay, so interesting. It starts with the empty vector. I guess that makes some sense. But it is finite, which is what I like. And okay, so that's fine. So that's all the permutations. And then what we want to do, or not all the, that's all the, that's not what we want at all, actually, is it? Yeah, I was just getting confused. Undo what I said. This is an infinite sequence. We're going to drop all the ones where the we're going to drop the characters until the character matches my first character on S2. And then we're going to take it while it's equal. But I'm not quite clear what this. Let's just take 2 and see what happens. I think I screwed up. Okay, great. So that's gonna not be good because that's just gonna do an infinite sequence. So let's just take 2 off that infinite. Okay, so we got water bottle and then we got. Oh, so we took 2, E and R. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So I guess what I'm saying is let's just take while. Ugh, weird. No, let's just take. This isn't gonna work actually, because it could have. There's not just one character that you might match on. I want a finite thing. I don't want this infinite thing because that makes it pretty complicated to know when to stop. So I want a finite thing. So I think let's back up and say I do think I want reductions, but geez, what is a good data structure for this? I mean, a stack is, or sorry, a vector is basically a stack, so I can push things onto the end very efficiently. A list is basically, well, it's a list. Or I guess it's a queue in some sense of the word. I can push things into the beginning very efficiently and pop them off the beginning very efficiently. But I need something that basically lets me rotate characters. But what is a good data structure for that in Clojure? I can do it with I guess 2 pointer indices. I don't like doing that. Pointers suck. Index position stuff sucks. How do I just rotate a string as actual data? I want to generate all the different. I want to generate, maybe lazily, but I want to generate all the different string rotations we can generate off of a string, and I want to do it in at least a, Clojure data structure efficient way. And with a string, I'm going to have to literally copy the string every single time. That's no good. With a can't use a vector and I can't use a list because those aren't efficient in one way. So either way, you in order to get them working the way you'd need them to work, you'd need to it's not a big deal. Who cares? But I can do it in constant memory if I use a lazy sequence, I guess. But it's still a linear cost for every rotation. Our rotation is just inherently linear unless I don't rotate the thing, but instead rotate the index. I guess there's no way to rotate. I mean, I guess what I'd kind of want is like a doubly linked list. If I have that, then where I remember what the beginning node I was on the list was, and I rotate all the way around until either one of two things, either I rotate all the way around. I got to think about this a bit. That's interesting. If we have an infinite cycle of characters, can I do anything good with that? I can definitely do this with a pointer. If I have a pointer and I'm basically saying, hey, I got string 1 and string 2, right? And I want you to give me all the occurrences where string 1 is a sub string of string 2. What does that mean, really? Yeah. This is odd. So what if I just needed to brute force it, right? What if I just... I think... What if I only keep track of the pointer positions that I'm going through? Now I don't need to worry about the linear cost of rearranging the letters. But instead can just focus on the indices. Is there a terminating condition for this? Yes, if I've walked through all the characters. Basically, I don't need to start checking for matches until the first character in S1 matches a character in S2. So that's where I came up with this original. Let's just have an infinite cycle of S1, I guess, because then I can just basically keep. Wait a minute. I think I'm ready for lunch because I feel like this is not that confusing. I'm cycling on S1, right? I'm walking down water bottle, right? But it's an infinite water bottle. It just keeps repeating itself, right? But I'm cycling. I'm saying drop. Well, we don't match. Well, we don't match on W. Okay. We don't match on A. Okay. We don't match on T. Okay. We do match on R. So that at this point we've matched on the bottle infinite remainder of water bottle, right? And all I need to go through here is basically say the next in characters need to match me, right? But is it true that just because I fail here that I just can't? There's like a corner case here where I feel like I'm missing something pretty important. Well, anyway, let's just try taking the count of. So we're dealing with S1. They should have the same count, I guess, so it doesn't really matter, right? And say that that value needs to equal the sequence of S2. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I don't feel good about it for some reason. There seems to be something missing here. Like, I feel like there's terrible cases where you... Okay, wait, let's think about it. If you have a rotation and you can't match it, you can drop the stuff off the front, but then you can't match it. If you can drop the stuff off the front, but then you weren't able to match, is that the case that you... No, because there's a rotation. There's no... Maybe this is fine. I don't know. I think I'm ready for lunch, and I'm gonna take it. Oh, you know what? One thing we were saying we're gonna do is let's look at the hints this time. So hint number 34, 88, and 104. All right. So let's find the hints section. All right. And okay, number 34. The hint is. If a string is a rotation of another, then it's a rotation at a particular point. For example, a rotation of water bottle at character 3 means cutting water bottle at character 3 and putting the right half, or bottle, before the left half, watt. Well, duh. Okay, I don't know how that's supposed to help me. But 88, all right. 88. We are essentially asking if there's a way of splitting the first string into two parts, x and y, such that the first string is xy and the second string is yx. For example, if x equals watt and y equals bottle, the first string is xy water bottle. The second string is yx bottle watt. Okay. I did not really use that approach at all, but... I guess they're saying maybe instead of doing any of this, you could have split the strings by finding the x and the y, and then asking... yeah, I'm not too sure. Number 104. Think about the earlier hint. Then think about what happens when you concatenate bottle watt to itself. You get bottle water bottle watt. Okay. Huh. All right, I think I'm relatively unconcerned about how to actually do this the way they want to do it. And so I'm going to just leave it at that. Yeah. So I think this will work. Yeah, I mean, if you're... but I feel like there's some... I still feel like there's some case here where you can have a string that would... It'll hit it, but then it'll hit it, but then it will fail out, and it needs to keep trying, you know? So I feel like I want to keep re-entering this cycle, right? You know, it's like, oh, you failed out, all right, we'll forget it, and let's just keep drop whiling, you know? Yeah, yeah. I think I see what I'm saying. But I think I actually see a point of what they're saying too, maybe. Not really, but like I feel like we don't ever need to take more than, for instance, twice the count of S1, you know? Of either of them, really. They should be the same size. Right, because there's no So now our cycle is bounded, right? It is a cycle, but it is bounded. Our thing has to show up somewhere in this string, or it's just not there, basically. Um, I'm just not sure if all this stuff is necessary if we were fine the way we were before. Um, and I guess the original purpose was to use is substring, so I feel like I've kind of cheated on the whole thing, even if it would work this way. But yeah, I think if you take 2 times the count of the total string, and you know, just to be safe, let's make it 3. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But if you take 3 times the count of the total string, you definitely have the total string in your substring somewhere, right? And so then let's just say that you just string slash join, right? Which with no argument, we'll just whatever, you know, we'll just put no space between each character, right? And then you just take, I don't know if there's a substring or if that's a Java thing you gotta pull, you know, I'm not sure. So, there's a Java substring, closure substring. No. Oh, I think includes. True if X includes substring. Okay, so I think that's what we want. It's under closure string includes. Okay, so includes S2. Oh. Now why would that be? The word water bottle has to show up in there. Alright, well, let's just see. Kind of getting confused by this whole thing, so I'm going to say this one is the one that we're going to... oh hell, let's just be sanity check. Let's just be... If... No need to check if the strings are equal. That's not important. Well, what is important is we have built an infinite cycle on these strings. We're going to take, I'm pretty sure, just 2 times the cycle of... Alright, let's do it this way, just to assuage my fears. Length is equal to the count of S1, right? Just assert that S1, the count of S2 is equal to the length, right? Okay. So now we can move on from that point and not worry about this anymore. We know that this length's the same. And then cycle S2. Okay. We're going to take from S2 twice the length, right? Then we're going to join it. Now we got a nice little string there. And oh, maybe we did it backwards. I think we did, actually. Wait, does it matter which order we include them in? No, we definitely want the bigger one first. Okay. So we use our little thing here to basically... We want to say this is within this. S1 is within S2. Okay, that's alright-ish. This is nice. I hate writing extra stuff that doesn't really do anything. Oh, whoops. I guess since S1 is the one we're checking, is S1 in S2, then we should only need to pull as many as there are out of S1. Okay. I feel a little bit better about this one. To the empty string. Okay, how about false? How about false of yes and no? Oh, you know, it doesn't specify which direction. Some you have... Oh, wait, rotations don't matter. I mean, well, actually, one thing that does kind of matter is that you have... Well, no, if they're a rotation, it doesn't matter because there is the string should be the same length. So it doesn't matter what the order is, whether S1 is an S2 or whether S2 is an S1. What it does matter is the string that you built, it's the bigger string that needs to be, you know, the first argument of this guy, right? And, okay. So, obviously if the two strings aren't equal in length, they're clearly not going to be substrings, so that's okay. We don't need to write a test for that. Or I don't need to check it here. And what else do we got? Yeah, I think that's enough for now, for today. Yeah, I feel like I should... I should maybe actually put the story on these two, yeah. So I'm going to try doing that. How do you... Yep, okay. Okay. Maybe just take out these two.